Okay, then let us focus on our lesson. Still, we are discussing on the First Noble Truth. We haven't completed yet. It may take time because there are so many things has to be learned by you, so that it takes time to be completed. Today, let me start where I stopped on last Sunday, not last, before Sunday. You know that the first noble truth is suffering, dukkha. In early Buddhist scripture, the term dukkha is used in more than one sense. Its meaning, the particular term dukkha indicates or connotes different meaning. In this context, what we are talking, we refer suffering. But for your understanding, for your knowledge, in early Buddhism, early Buddhist scriptures, its meaning Pali Canon, that particular terms, that is dukkha, is used in a different ways, or it used more than one sense. Sometimes it refers or it gives psychological meaning, it's mental, or sometimes it refers for physical meaning, sometimes it gives philosophical views. Very especially in the context of dukkha, first noble truth, as you know, as you understood on early lessons, it has a general or ordinary sense of meaning. Meanwhile, it holds philosophical meaning or sense. Simply, you may understand, you may realize the ordinary or general sense, general meaning of the term. It is very simple. Even those who do not concern of this, of course they understood the simple or ordinary sense of the terms. It is very simple. Apparently, you may see, you may get it as a suffering of pain. There are so many equivalent or so many synonymous words in English. That is a simple, but we must try to understand. You must understand the deeper meaning of the terms. That is philosophical views or philosophical sense. Very especially the term in the First Noble Truth indicates Buddha's views of life and the world. That is very important, because this is the Four Noble. The Four Noble Truth is keystone in the Buddhist teaching. It is a keystone, or you would say this is, or the Four Noble Truth is central concept of Buddha's teaching. It is central concept. Therefore, when we learn, or as a practitioner of Buddhism, everyone must understand, everyone should have an effort or endeavor to get, to clarify or to learn, study that theoretically or philosophical sense or meaning of the terms. If you concern of that philosophically, theoretically, that particular terms gives the meaning as such: impermanence, and insubstantiality or emptiness. That is what Buddha intended through that terms. That sense or this philosophical view, how Buddha intended through that word, term dukkha, won't be able to get easily, won't be able to understand easily. It is very difficult. It is very profound meaning. You should have understand. You should have understood. Just simply, apparently, looking at the term, you won't be able to get understand. Paying attention, attentively, if you concern of the term, gradually you will get that philosophical view or sense of the terms. Therefore, today, let us try to explain further, to get more details of the First Noble Truth. First Noble Truth. It is dukkha satcha. Dukkha satcha. Of course, you have to remember completely the term as dukkha ariya satcha. Dukkha ariya satcha. Dukkha is suffering or unsatisfactoriness. Ariya is a noble. Ariya is a noble. Satya is a truth. Satya is a truth. Then the noble truth of suffering or dukkha. I think already you understood that there is no proper equivalent English equivalent for dukkha. Why? Because if you concern of philosophically or philosophical sense of the term, there is a no equivalent. English terms. There are so many words, but all of them, those words doesn't suit or doesn't give actual or proper meaning of the terms. That is why basically most of the scholars, intellectual, they like to leave it untranslated. It's meaning they basically use original Pali terms, dukkha. You can say discomfort or pain, unhappiness, unsatisfactoriness, like that, so many words. But almost all of them, those words, doesn't give overall meaning of the term. That is why just whenever you want to use that First Noble Truth, better use dukkha, not suffering. Because if you say suffering, that word doesn't give overall meaning of the term as Buddha intended. Because when you go through the part by part of the truth, at the end you will understand what Buddha intended through that First Noble Truth. You know that in the particular sutta, Sangyutta Nikaya, yes, the Buddha explained about the Four Noble Truth as thus. When you pay attention on that saying, on that utterance given by the Buddha with regard to First Noble Truth, of course you may understand how important is it. He says, he who sees suffering, sees the origination of suffering. I use here suffering for your easy understanding. He who sees suffering sees the origin or arising of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the path of way leading to the cessation of suffering. Buddha, this is how Buddha admired or says about this truth, this Four Noble Truth. It's meaning, if you understand First Noble Truth, what we are talking about, what we are learning, if you understand, if you realize, if you discern First Noble Truth, it's meaning you will understand, you will realize second, third and fourth, the origin of or arising of suffering. How does it arise? Then second, the third is the cessation of suffering. How does it overcome? Then thirdly, fourthly, you may understand the way, the path, the remedy or resolutions or solutions. The what solution, what way you have to apply to overcome or to get and again to achieve this noble truth. That is why they are interconnected. They are interconnected or they are interrelated, interdependent, one another. They are joined. It's meaning you can't satisfy learning just only first. When you get it done, first noble truth, it's meaning immediately you may like to learn to follow next one. If you want to get complete result, or if you want to get liberation from your endless suffering, of course you must understand all. It's meaning, on the other hand, or if I put another way, just no one can ignore. No one can ignore those learning. One who wants to get rid of, one who wants to get out from this suffering, endless suffering, of course they won't ignore. They don't want to neglect those learning. Suppose if you are going to deny, if you are going to ignore first noble truth, its meaning you are denying all others, not only all those noble truths, but also whole Dhamma, whole teaching of the Buddha. If you ignore, if you condemn, if you deny first noble truth, its meaning you may ignore, you may deny other three also as well. Not only that, but also you may ignore, you may neglect other whole Dhammas of the whole teaching of the Buddha. Why? Because as you knew that first, that is, the Four Noble Truth is a keystone or central concept of the Buddha's teaching. Once you completed those learning, indeed you will understood everything perfectly. This is the main thing. Therefore, it is very important. Buddha, he himself declared that important or significance of the Four Noble Truth. But perhaps some of us in the society, is rigid or staunch materialistic. Some of us in the society is rigid or staunch materialistic. It's meaning some of us always concerned of materialism. Of course, as they concern of, as they think of materialistic things, opened for always. They consider everything pessimistically. Why? Because you are materialistic. You trend. Anyhow, you want to try to gratify senses. You don't think of other. Just you become materialistic. Why? Because we stay in that type of society. It is a materialistic world. Therefore, you always concern of you always think of materialistic things. That is why some of us in the society rigid, strong, materialistic. Therefore, they consider everything based on pessimism. They consider everything what you have around you pessimistically. Some of us in the society, not materialistic, they are non-materialistic. Then that is their nature. They always concern of the thing non-materialistic way. Therefore, they consider everything in the society or everything in your family, everything what you have around you, they consider optimistically, pessimistically. First, they consider the optimistically. Second, they are non-materialistic. Therefore, they consider everything pessimistically. Why? Because they are non-materialistic. Some of other, they are materialistic. Then, for them, those who are pessimistic and optimistic, for them, the concept of dukkha or the first noble truth is not significant, because they are just materialistic. They are just optimistic or pessimistic. Therefore, the first noble truth, or this truth, they may think, oh, what a nonsense. Because they have that view, pessimistic view. They have the optimistic view. Or they are materialistic. They are non-materialistic. Therefore, they may condemn. Oh, what nonsense. Those philosophical views, those philosophical ideas doesn't work with us. It is a nonsense for them. They do not admire. They do not appreciate. Oh, they think, oh, it is a boring. What I study is it? This is just give bore. They are unhappy with that study. Why? Because they don't have that realistic attitude. Those who sees things as they truly are. Of course, this Four Noble Truth is significant. they admire, they appreciate, they may try to learn, they have curiosity, they are very curious to learn what is it. Why? Because they want to see, they want to learn things as they truly are, as they truly are. That is why they, for them, it's meaning realistic viewers, those who view on the world, those who view life and the world realistic way, or as they truly are, the Four Noble Truth, or the first noble truth of suffering is not it is not insignificance. It is for them very important, very useful. Why? Because they want to get understand realistic way. Therefore, yes.
When you say pessimistic,
Mm.
are you relating to the people who thinks there's not another life after this,
Mhm.
so let us enjoy what we have and let us acquire
Mhm.
things, let us
Yes.
go to travel and do a lot of things.
Yes.
And the optimistic ones are the ones that think life is eternal.
Mhm.
After we die, we become eternal. We go
Mhm.
to heaven.
Mhm.
So there is life. There is, and let's not get too materialistic with things
Mhm.
because there is hope for us after death.
Mhm.
Are those related to
Yeah. Yeah.
pessimistic and
Yes.
optimistic?
Yeah. Yes. That the, the people, as a people, human being, we have that attitude. We have that attitude. That is why the some of us in the society are very materialistic. Anyhow, they try to enjoy, they try to entertain. They don't believe next birth or some other like that. They have their own attitude. Therefore, what they do, anyhow, hmm, they try to entertain, they try to gratify their sense organ. Therefore, but there are some other people. I think you remember that I explained about doctors. There are three doctors. First one is optimistic. The second one is pessimistic. Both are dangerous equally. Both are similarly. Today, what I want to teach you, there are materialistic people, the person who concern on materialism. Also, there are some are here in the society. Maybe perhaps you may experience, you may get that when you involve with the people. Some are very materialistic. They don't care any other things. They enjoy with the materialistic, collecting and collecting. Anyhow, throughout the day they try to enjoy, they try to entertain themselves with the materialism. Some are not such. They are non-materialistic. There are people, but therefore, for them, to those whom look that way, the first noble truth is what we talk, dukkha or suffering, doesn't mean for them. They don't like to learn its they may consider it as a nonsense. Hmm? It is a boring, no taste. There is no any taste. Why? As they vision, they want to have an entertainment, enjoyment. They want to the temporary become happy. By learning, when I taught you, when I teach you this philosophical thing, of course you are not happy. It is not funny thing, no. But if you are realistic, you have to build up that attitude inwards. You must have a concern. You must have that attitude to learn things as they truly are, based on anicca dukkha anatta. If you see that way, of course, that Four Noble Truth, or today what we are learning, the First Noble Truth is important. Why? Because you are concerned about that. We are concerned. That is why you, as you ask, those things are related with that thing, related that with it. That's why if you want to learn, if you want to study, of course you have to develop, you have to build up that environment, that attitude inwardly in your mind. Then you may seize things as they truly are. But I want to emphasize for you, the person who wants to see things as they truly are, really what is going on, really what is happening in the world, really what is happening in our body. If you want to investigate those things, you must examine things as they truly are. Then if you are ready to do so, then this learning, this study, or the First Noble Truth of suffering is important. It is not insignificant for you. It is very significant for you. It is values for you. Otherwise, no. Therefore, try to understand what I say. Then you develop your thinking. You increase, you develop your thinking, the way of seeing, way of investigating things as they truly are, Then, this is the main problem. Suffering is, dukkha is fundamental things. The fundamental things. Suppose you are a realistic viewer. Suppose you want to see things as they truly are. Then, if you think, if you examine the sensing the world through your realistic view, through your realistic understanding, or with proper consideration, you will see one thing is very clearly, that is dukkha. Suppose, again let me explain. Suppose you are a realistic viewer. You look at the things as they truly are. Then you investigate the world where you live through your realistic view, or with proper consideration, yoniso manasikara. Proper consideration is yoniso manasikara. then one thing is clear for that is dukkha. Or through your that investigation, through your that your experiment, through your that research, you will be clarified, or you will understand one thing is very clearly, or one problem is very clearly, that is suffering. That is suffering in the world. But it takes time to get understand, entirely to get understand what we meant by that. It takes time. But in the world there is only one problem, that is suffering. That is suffering. There may be known and unknown problem in your life. Maybe there are maybe some of your problems are known, some of your problems are unknown. Maybe when you think of yourself in your life, and you investigate, there may be some known and unknown problems, difficulties. All are included in dukkha. Whatever you have, whatever it is problem you have, is included in dukkha. In dukkha. That is why Buddha told, Buddha expressed that dukkhe loko patittito. Dukkhe loko patittito. The world is founded in suffering. The world is established in suffering. Suffering. That is why Buddha said that all problems are included in dukkha. In dukkha. Whatever it is problem, brings us suffering. Whatever it is problem, bring us suffering. Then it is the universal problem. It is a universal problem. It is not limited for this world or that world. It is a universal. Buddha understood the universality of suffering. That is why we identify it, or we introduce, or we recognize it as a truth. It is a universal. No one can deny we do not suffer. We are not suffering. Anyone whoever live in the world, wherever, in the corner of the world, they may suffer with one or another problem. So that no one can deny. No one can deny, oh Venerable, we know, we don't have any, we are very happy. Yes.
Venerable,
Mm.
I have found in this life that there is nothing but suffering.
Yes.
There is not a single thing in the life that doesn't carry that suffering.
Mm.
But at the same time, when you kind of start seeing that, is scary because there's nothing. But then the human life it carries all suffering, even though we detect it or not, it's still there. As you said, universally, right?
Yeah.
But to acquire this physical body, once we are born, suffering also start, right? But when we do not want this physical body anymore, how can we free ourselves from suffering? Also it's kind of a dilemma there,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. That is the universal. You understood? It is not. It is cannot be confined for American only for American, or they only may suffer. No, everyone. Even heavenly life, they suffer at the end of their age. It takes time to learn everything, but today let us focus on that. It is a universal truth. It is a universal truth. It is the fundamental teaching. Fundamental teaching. You know that it is a single problem. It is only single problem, suffering. We suffer. But even though it is a single problem, we recognize or we name it in different ways. It is a fundamental, the only single problem, single thing, that is dukkha. Anyhow, at the end, what we experience, unsatisfaction. Unsatisfaction. This is a single problem, but we name it different ways. Social problem, political problem, ethnic problem, boundary problems, territories problem, economic problem, like that. Same, or as I told you, the world is established on suffering. That is why all entire, whether it is known and unknown, problems are included in suffering, dukkha, in First Noble Truth. But entirely, philosophically, if you understood it as single problem, but we identify or we name it in a different way. That is why sometimes you may talk about on your political problem. When general election comes, you may talk about your leaders. It is your problem. It is your political problem, or whether he may good or not. New leader, who will supposed to be power, getting power. You may talk everywhere, no? At the home or your office places, when it is on, or when it is declared election, general election, you may talk of your president, next president, how is it, how he will work, like that. It's me, because it affects the social problem. There are many social problems. That problem may harm, disturb you. That is also your, because of that you may suffer. Because neighbors, when they perform things, what is musical source, like that, something event, they give problem. That is why same thing we will be identifying in a different name, but its meaning, whole entire problem or difficult what we have brings us suffering. It's come as a chain. Suppose you are faced for many problems in a day or your daily life. You face so many problems, so many things are confronted for you, giving trouble. Then when you have a certain problem, you will solute it. You get in solution. Then after you become happy, then after another will arise. That same problem will be arising, or same thing will come up in a different or fresh form, different way. That is why the problems are coming up as a chain, one by one, one after another, one after another, one after another. It's meaning we keep on going on always. Now we have this problem, we solve it out, then next time another one. The same thing maybe comes up another way, another forms, different forms. That is why the suffering dominated life. Suffering, endless suffering is dominated life. Therefore, it is a universal truth. It is a universal truth. Buddha, as a realistic teacher, objective teacher, he understood the things as they truly are. Then he understood universality of suffering. It is endless. It is endless. That is why we call it endless or fundamental, universal truth of truth in the world. Therefore, you know how does arise that suffering? How does arise that suffering? And also there is one very special saying that given by the Buddha in Rohita Sutta, the discourse uttered to Rohita, Brahmin Rohita. Rohita is a son of God, divine one. He approached the Buddha and asked question. By replying, Buddha says like that. Imasmin vyamatte kalebore lokancha panchipemi loka samudayanta panchipemi loka nirodhagamani patipadas panchipemi. Like that, Buddha explained him. Oh, venerable monks, I declare that pattern on this body itself, there is the world. Here, W-O-R-L-D, world. Here, that world, the term world, Buddha refers for dukkha. Dukkha, not this existence, this human world. Normally in English, we use that term for existence. Here, lokancha panchapemi. Lokancha, loka is a world, but it indicates suffering. Loka, L-O-K-A, loka, world. In this patham lone body, it's meaning 6 feet, no, the body. Patham lone body. Within this body, I will declare that world and its origin and its cessation and the leading of the cessation. It's meaning Buddha taught Four Noble Truth in that particular sutta by using, instead of world instead of dukkha. The word is here indicates suffering. It's meaning entire world is suffering. Whatever we get as a suffer is temporary. never long last. No? Therefore, Buddha told that through I, that the forms are cognizable via I, through I. Forms, rupa. Forms or form is cognizable via or through I. Then when you contract rupa forms through sense of I, you are happy. You are happy. But it is long last. Does it long last? When you look at the rupa or forms, at the moment of you are happy, you become happy. But it is temporary. It is a temporary. It gives temporary happiness. You are happy temporary. It never long last. Then next one is Chakku Sota. Sota is a ear. Sota is a ear. Sound. Its object is sound. The sound is cognizable or experienceable via or through ear. Through ear, you get voices, sound, different sounds. When you hear melodious, very beautiful voice, sound, you are happy. When it disappears from you, you are unhappy. That is why there is no permanency. There is no happiness permanently. It appear and disappear, appear and disappear. The happiness comes and disappear. It vanished. First it comes, stay for a while, and will be disappearing. Disappeared. They comes only to disappearing, not to stay, not to stay long last, forever. It stay for a while, it change. Then it will reappear. Like a problem also. Problem comes and passes away to reappear. Problems come and passes away, giving opportunity, chances to be reappear, to reappear. That is the problems comes and go, like a chain, it is rotating, one after another, one after another, one after another. But yes, that is why then Sota. Then Gahana, nose, smell, begotten smell through the sense of tongue. Smell is cognizable via or through nose. Then tongue, taste, flavor. Taste is cognizable via or through tongue, organ tongue. Then tactile, tangibility, or impressions, touches are cognizable through or via body. These are the five senses. Therefore, five senses, they have their own object. Those forms, sound, smell, taste, impressions or tangibility are subject of suffering. Subject of suffering. Why? First you get it, then you happy, then after when it disappear, when they go away from you, you become unhappy. That is why Buddha told, that Mahali Lichavi, Mahali Lichavi. The Lichavi, it is a kingdom. During the Buddha's time it was a nourished, well developed the kingdom, Lichavi. They are very beautiful. Lichavis are very beautiful persons. During the Buddha's time, Buddha one day spoke to venerable monks or venerable monks. Really, if you want to see divine being, deities, Deva, better go to the Lichavi kingdom, see them. They are very beautiful, like a divine one. Then one day, Mahali Lichavi came to Buddha and raised the question. Buddha replied him, addressing or uttering this particular sutta, Sangyutta Nikaya. Then on that sutta, Buddha taught him, Lichavi, all those rupa forms, sadda sound, ghana smell, rasa taste or flavor, pottabha touches impression, are subject of suffering. At the beginning, when you contact one sort of object, you delight on that. You delight in them. Whatever you have received through sense organ. Suppose if you get the form through sense of eye, you delight in that particular form, when it disappears, when it was away from you, if you cannot see it anymore, what will happen? You become unhappy. That is what we call suffering. Therefore, today I stop from that point. I will continue. Anyhow, just I take 5 minutes to explain something for you.